Welcome back to Task Force Podcast, an airsoft podcast made by the airsofters for the airsofters.
All right, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to another episode of Task Force Podcast. I'm your host, Snake, joined by my co-host today, Thumper, who you guys know. Generally, he's helping us out and kind of running behind the scenes. But of course, we've been playing with Thumper for a really long time. But today is a special episode, kind of, I guess. We're live streaming on Twitch now, giving that a go to see how everything is. Hopefully, you guys can see this. Hopefully you're watching this. If you are, put something in the comments, because I just don't know if you're there. But if you are, that's really cool. If you're not, that's also really cool, because this is a shit show. No, today we were supposed to have a guest on, but time got a little bit late for him, considering he's in
England.
Different part of the country, where now it's like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning or something crazy. But I had put a poll out on the Instagram, and I'd been toying with the idea of going live on Twitch during our podcasts. So the vast majority ruled that yes, they would like to see a live podcast. So no time, 20 minutes after I poll to say, fuck it, let's do this episode that we're going to record on Saturday live and make sure that nobody's here. So that way, when the first time happens, we're not thrown off completely, like we just were, and people have to watch it. So I am kind of excited to start planning out the next year worth of
Content?
Yes. Well, not necessarily content, but gameplay. The game's coming up. Grimnir Tactical, I know for sure, is working on some follow-ups to Radio Silence, which, of course, from our interviews before, there is no Radio Silence 2. It's a whole nother piece of the story, right?
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, so there's Radio Silence, and then the next episode in the series is what would be coming up next. Those guys are working on it. I don't know anything about it, but if it's anything like Radio Silence was, it was really cool.
I'm all for going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. I want to go for sure.
I don't know about the flying part.
23 hours straight was a little rough if I had to drive again.
See, we're not doing straight.
Yeah, I would take a hotel room break.
We do this my group does this every year for conventions. So
right.
I've learned you go so far, you stop, you go the rest of the way.
Right. Yeah, no, if you're not stopping and taking a break while you're driving, I don't know how the fuck people do this. I don't get how truck drivers, well, then again, they'll limit 10 hours. 10 hours not too bad. 10 hours not too bad.
Yeah, it's a big difference between 23 and 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't sleep very good when we're actually driving either. It's uncomfortable for me.
Awesome.
I sleep, but I'm not resting, So I feel like I don't have any sleep.
I have insomnia. It doesn't.
Right.
If I don't take meds, I don't sleep. So.
Right. No, and me and Nasty actually kind of had a little bit of a tiff on the way home, because
it's grueling.
Yeah, I was just so fucking tired, and so I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this, man. I want to pull over.
If all three of us went, what we could have done was one drive, one sleep, one navigate.
Right.
Or keep the driver alert and around, and then you just rotate.
Right. Yeah, that's the hard part.
That's the good thing about having 3, because 2. You can't just have one sleep and one drive.
Right. That's the hard part for me, because if I'm driving and somebody else is asleep,
I don't want to wake them up.
Watching lines go by, but I'm just getting more and more tired. and I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yep.
Most of the time I'm half asleep driving to work. So, I mean, like, I know I can do it. I just don't really want to do it. But
I was going to say, I did when we went out to the range to fire the AA-12s, or not the AA-12. Yeah, it was the AA-12. Out the other side of Tennessee.
mm-hmm.
We drove all the way there, had all day with the guy, drove all the way back. And I don't remember anything past Newton. So I have no idea how I got home. I'm like,
that would have been like...
You wake up, you go, I'm alive?
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, we were driving, I think we were in Indiana, and I was, like, sleeping. And every fucking pothole, like, I would wake up, like, it scared the shit out of me. And so I would wake up. Right. I was like, I would wake up and I'd be like, Jesus, I'm going to fucking die. And then, like, I'd be like, oh, it's fine. And then I'd fall back asleep. But just riding in the car for me and sleeping while riding in the car is not conducive for me being me. I turn into a drama queen.
I think we could do it.
If
we plan for it.
Right.
Because, like I was telling Nasty, the big problem is going to be, his answer is mail our gear and then fly out. Yeah. And I'm like, have you seen how the post office works? I ain't mailing crap. I may never see that stuff again.
I would mail it. I would mail it. The guys from Puerto Rico mailed all their stuff to call sign DS1 Cutthroat on Instagram, DS1_Cutthroat. And, I mean, then they flew and he gave them a ride. It worked out pretty good, really.
Yeah,
and that was from Puerto Rico. Like, I'm just going to...
With my luck?
Right there.
With my luck, trust me, my shit will get lost.
Probably.
So like the Magnum? Man, the Magnum can make that trip like nothing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The dually wasn't too terribly bad. The dually was pretty good.
How was it on fuel?
We got like 16 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
The Magnum does better than that.
I'm gonna text this guy.
The last of the station wagons with the guts of the Charger. It's my daddy wagon.
The Magnum's nice. Like, I like the... I don't know. I have a problem with, like, a shaggin' wagon style, but I think it'd be cool to turn into a technical. Cut a hole in the back.
See, I figured out how to turn it into an ambulance.
Yeah. Well, you're just laying somebody down in that,
like in an emergency, lay the two seats down on the coat racks on either side. You can hang IV bag, and you just have someone squatting down between the two patients.
Yeah. There you go.
So I'm like, in an emergency, I can turn it into an ambulance.
Yeah. We could take a Sawzall and put a hole in the roof, though, turn it into a technical. It'd only be like waist high.
Well, no, what we'll do is do like the Secret Service. You'll put the minigun.
Yeah.
Just have the port come up and you fold
the double
out.
doors and just fold out an airsoft minigun. That'd be pretty fucking dope. But no, so Radio Silence was good. Grimnir's coming up with some stuff. I really want to go to... I would like to go to Copperhead. Everybody keeps talking about Copperhead now. Copperhead's fun and whatnot. And I've watched a lot of them. No, it's... I think it's the one in Arizona, if I remember correctly. Which actually wouldn't be too bad, considering Arizona's at least closer than PA. Well, I mean, at that point, technically, we were pretty much driving to New York. When you really stop and think about it, it was a 2-hour drive. So, it's kind of like, that's a long-ass way.
Okay, here we go.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure Copperhead's in Arizona. I'm pretty positive.
Well, let's just say, when we went out to Tucson, it was a 16-hour drive.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad.
And we actually broke that up by sleeping overnight and getting up and going. New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay. So, yeah, that's right. Playas, New Mexico. Yes, that's right. So, but everybody keeps talking about Copperhead and how it's pretty cool. So that is something that I would like to...
What time of the year is that?
I would like to go see.
September?
Yeah.
In New Mexico?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little hot, but...
Yeah, I've been there. No,
yeah.
Oh, my God, that's going to broil.
Yeah, so it would be a little hot. I think this year it was later, but COVID, everything pushed COVID back, including, like, Broken Home. Broken Home's normally, like, Memorial Day weekend, I think.
Oh, so that's what that's going to be. No, that's going to be Labor Day weekend next year.
And so then... I think Memorial Day weekend is normally Broken Home, and that typically is pretty hot because Oklahoma actually gets pretty fucking hot. Like, really, I don't think people give enough credit.
Vegetation down there, it was humid too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's humid, and then the terrain is a lot more up and down than what you really thought it would going to be. Like, it was pretty rough, but I would also like to go back to Broken Home. That one's just so close. It's like if you're setting up a label or a list of events you want to hit next year, like Broken Home only being 3 hours, it's like the closest major event that we have. So for us to say that's on the list should be simple.
I want to do one of the mud crab ones on their D-Day.
Yeah, I would like to see what they're kind of all about and give them a go as well, and see what those guys are.
I mean, the whole purpose of this is from airsofters for airsofters. And I was like, well, if they're starting,
right?
That's our thing.
Right, exact same thing we do with Grimnir. Like, but Mud Crab has a couple different games that they have. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, go check out Mud Crab Milsim. They have some games in the Midwest. So if you're in the Midwest, most of our listeners are on the East Coast, so they actually get lucky with having
and on the East Coast we've got the post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of the group that does that.
Yeah, and then they have like
they were going to do one here in Oklahoma,
right?
And then they have one in New York,
right? But they have, in the East Coast, they have, there's a couple Milsim West games that happen there. There's a couple American Milsim games that happen there. So
nice.
They've actually got quite a few different places. But there's also one I would like to go to that is the Government Training Institute. I think I was talking to Childlock about it. Stonebreaker. I don't know. I'd like to go check that out and go play that. That would be fucking cool. Like, that's a big ass building, dude. Like,
I'm all for CQB. That's my jam.
Yeah, CQB would be fun. I haven't played CQB in a long time, but then again, like, I'm a lot fatter now too. Huh?
Not since XA.
Right? Yeah, XA was pretty cool. We actually had a hospital that had closed down, and these guys had bought it or were renting it, leasing it, whatever. Yeah. But basically opened a airsoft shop in there and turned the hotel, the hospital.
Turned the hospital into a field.
Yes, they turned the hospital into a field, and like they would host these overnight games, and I used to go to those all the time actually, with a guy named Joe, big guy. And so I used to go to the overnights with him, and what they would do is they would call it like a lock-in. Yep. And I think the games started at like 8:00, 9:00, something like that.
Yeah, they'd cook for you and supply.
Yep.
Food.
You get your airsoft meal, your shitty hot dog on a shitty bun, but it was something. And then you would play. They would lock the doors, and you would play all night until 7:00 in the morning. And they would run these on like Fridays and Saturday nights, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. They do pistols only. They do medic games.
Yep. They used to do we would run like a mini Milsim event during these, where we would do like objective-based missions, where they would let they would have your main opposing force. And then I know we had done one where we had the main opposing force, the OP4, and then we had like a CQ or SF team that were like out in the back. Actually, they went around the building and came in
through that side door.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that way you could have like a QRF kind of waiting for when, because there was always that one hallway. You had to go, every room led to that one hallway you had to push up with a double door.
Or if they got in that one room, they'd try and lock it down.
Yes.
You had to send someone across the hallway through X-ray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you got bottlenecked there, you were just there for a long time. There was no real way around it, unfortunately, because of the shape of the building and the way they had built it.
I remember doing that. We had a kid, they're like, I don't want to go across the hall. I don't want to go across. I'm going to get shot. And we were just getting torn apart. I pulled out my sidearm and I just, you can run across the hall or I'll shoot you here.
Right.
And everyone's looking at me and I'm like, you know.
It wouldn't have been so bad if that room was like big enough that you could kind of get a running start. But it was like, you could get like 2 steps and then the hallway.
It was as long, the little space was as long as this table is.
Right. So like you could get like 2 steps, and so like you couldn't run and slide across, because if you could do that, you probably would have been fine. But
yeah, you had to trust that the people could put down volume of fire just long enough for you to scoot across the hall.
Right. And not shoot you while you're going across. But that never, like, I feel like that didn't ever actually happen the way it was supposed to happen. I always got shot.
That's where my Western Arms got stolen, was out there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Kimber.
I lost a lot of shit out there. I don't even remember. Like, I'm pretty sure I left a whole pistol out there. I don't know. I lost a lot of shit there. I know that. I know I lost so many mags there. Even that were just like broken. They got broke from falling and hitting on the ground.
Oh God, back when everybody was using high caps like it was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a couple high caps that were all metal, and specifically I used them at XA because I didn't want my mid caps to get broken. Right. But XA was pretty cool. I think I used to have a 416 that was camoed out in like, so I used to paint guns actually.
Oh, he still does. Don't let him lie. Yeah, he still does.
No, like I had templates. Like I could paint multicam, and I could paint digital camo, and I could paint tricolor, and I could
used to have a helmet that you'd done that webbing, the snakeskin pattern on it.
Mm-hmm. That's
the old helmet you got there in it, your old Mitch.
Yeah. Well, I did the same style on it, so it has that same type of paint job. And then, like, I actually did. A kid paid me one time to paint his gun Flecktarn, however the fuck you say it. Yeah, well, he rocked all Flecktarn. So, like, and it actually, I was able to find the colors to where it matched and looked like fucking Flecktarn. Like, and then ATAX came out and I was painting ATAX, and then I just quit buying painting guns.
I was going to say, your guns pretty much would fit in with
ATAC
still.
Yeah.
If you had a little olive drab to it, you can even pop it in with multicam.
Right. Yeah. If I had some matte green in there, it would probably work pretty well. A little bit more brown.
See, that's what I'm going to do for my dump pouch. It's an old woodland dump pouch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take some tan spray paint and just kind of dust it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's my dump pouch. Most of the time, it's just rolled up on the back of my hip anyway.
Right. I don't even use mine right now. It doesn't have the drawstring, so all my mags just fall out. I gotta get a new dump pouch.
Why don't you just use, you could run a new string through it. Just use paracord.
Yeah, I'm just lazy. I use my leg pouch.
Just unbutton it.
I just put it right. Yeah, I got like one button undone. I just put it right in my leg, so.
See, when you really get lazy, you don't even do that. You duck around the corner, eject your mag, put it in the pouch, pull the next one, slap it in, go.
Yeah, really take your time. But
yeah.
No, I also want to go to a Lion Claws event. It would be cool. Like, I'm setting some pretty high standard or pretty high bars here for this coming up year, but I'm hoping that the restrictions are lower down. I don't know.
So you let me know when you want to. I'll talk to John. Because he and I talk a lot still.
Right. Yeah, I think they've got a couple cool things. Like they had the hotel. Oh, God, Jesus. The
hotel. See, you're thinking the hospital.
I am. The mall. They had the mall game here not
that
long ago. That would have been pretty cool to go to.
It
was a fairly new closed mall too. It wasn't like an old fucking abandoned building. It was like still pretty fucking new mall.
And what most kids won't think about is when you go to a mall, the reason it's comfortable is all those air conditioners are running. I guarantee they didn't have those running.
I don't know.
So that'd be hot.
I want to say that I saw something that said they had them running.
Oh God!
Which would have been like nice. Like,
yeah.
Hey, we're gonna go play airsoft in this mall, and it has air conditioning. So it's a win. You know, I think it's in Arizona, which is probably a reason why. But
there's a new CQB course in Kansas City too. This guy's got a building that his dad owns, and they're running CQB out of it.
Huh.
And I've been talking to him, and he's like, he wants us to come up bad.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. I'd like to go play some CQB.
And I'm like, Kansas City's not bad. We could do a day trip.
Right. It's only, 3 hours, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, about 3.5.
Yeah, it's not bad. We're actually pretty lucky in that we don't normally have to drive that far to go play airsoft. We only play, it's only what I think graffiti's 45 minutes, 35 minutes, something like that. And then the edge actually is only 20 minutes. It's not that far from me at all. 15
Graffiti's
minutes.
South.
Yep.
Edge
is up on North Ridge in 96.
Haven't been to the Edge.
The Edge is nice. It's got some interesting fields. It has some interesting things
I miss Frog.
I do too. I miss Frog a lot. I wonder.
I never thought I'd say that. I really miss Frog Holler.
Dude, they just had all the fields that felt like home. They have the fields that.
That's where we started.
Yeah. Even their small fields weren't really so small that it was shitty.
I was going to say Tires was a small field and it still felt nice.
Right. See, but even then though, now when you actually stop and think about it, so are the fields actually that small? But the guns just sucked more? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there was a lot of people who started off, because I was working at Jungle Toy back then, and I know what we sold. And, the top of the line was SRC.
Right.
And Cyma was the mainstay.
Yeah.
And for all the crap that Cyma gets over the years, I'll say this. I know AKs I sold 15 years ago that are still shooting today.
Right. Well, Cyma still they're still probably, if you're wanting to buy a cheap airsoft gun that will just continue to run, is still
nothing fancy.
Cyma.
That's why I'm thinking about that AK real hard. I was like, it'll give us a backup rifle.
I mean, give you
I
guys
love my
a backup
Crytek.
rifle. Give you guys a backup rifle.
Yeah,
I won't run an AK. But as a backup. I'll go out in my I'll go out in my TS blade.
And Nasty doesn't need one because he's got the saw.
Right.
And he's been telling me how it's going to just be HPA beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's looking at running a dual tank setup on it and getting some braided line and running the saw. He wants to install the HPA system himself, which is cool. That's pretty cool. But at the same time, also, I'm kind of I might let somebody else install that shit.
I do know a guy locally who can do it.
Well, I keep telling him that...
Reaper.
Dude, by the way, if you're annoyed by me and my nose, I am too. So, but...
Allergies.
It was fucking... Yeah, it was 85 fucking degrees on Thursday.
Yeah.
It was 85 degrees on Thursday, and then Friday, it was 43 degrees. What the fuck, man?
85... It started off, it was 85, almost 90, and then it dropped down to 38 degrees.
Yeah.
It was like being in the sandbox.
Dude, Jesus, I can't do that shit. It plays terrible on my face.
See, I guess because, when I had to deal with that a lot when I was younger, and then it doesn't faze me. I just, okay. If it's cold, throw another layer on.
Just take some, well, I don't even go outside. I don't go outside. Like, I don't work outside. When I go outside, it's like to go from my house to the car, and then from the car to the work. Yeah, I'm assuming it's just allergies. So like,
probably.
But I was telling Nasty, I was like, dude, if you just take your saw, if you're buying everything from Amped, like, they can install it for you.
Oh, yeah.
And Amped when we were there at Radio Silence, we talked with the guys at Amped Airsoft, and they actually said, hey, if you are going to do that, you can ship us your gun, and since you're purchasing all the things, we'll install it. All you have to pay is the shipping, if I remember correctly. There might have been an install fee. It was like, it really wasn't bad. It was like $30.
Oh, yeah. That's not bad.
But it's like, they put together all your shit. They drill a hole in the side of your fucking gun. They set up your HPA unit and they align it so that way whenever you're shooting, there's not a BB that just like hella fucking goes to the right or whatever. It just is the just straight. You got your hop up in there. Because he was looking at, he'll also do probably a new tight bore and a new hop up in there. They have an all metal hop up that he was looking at there. The saw already has an all metal hop up, but that reminds me, actually, I really want to put a new hop up in my KWA. I was talking to them.
What kind of hop up you want to do?
I want to do max hop up. I want to get an all metal max hop up. And the only problem is KWA has a proprietary nozzle.
Yes.
And so, especially on that Xeon 3, I was talking to them, and they were like, well, if you just take off the nozzle, you replace the nozzle with something that's not the proprietary nozzle, you can put whatever hop up you want in there.
I was going to say, by Crytek, I swear by that gun.
Yeah, it's a nice, Cryteks are really fucking nice. Like, I would love to get one, but
and their customer service was outstanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my problem is like I really like the electric blowback function of that.
Yeah, no, see that I want, but I mean we could do it. I guess technically we could find a way to put an electric blowback even in a LOVA like mine.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's probably a way to do it.
I mean, hell, I've looked at the TMs. All those new TMs.
I don't know. I mean, I like TM, but I feel like they're just
overpriced.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying a lot
for the name.
A lot for the name. Granted, without being biased, it's kind of the same thing with KWA, and it's kind of the same thing with Crytek. Like all your big names, but everybody goes through that. Like every airsoft company has gone through that now. Like ICS was like premier, right? And then like, so you're buying for the name because now they're not near as expensive.
Oh no, now they're like what, $250?
Yeah, something like that. And so same thing with Classic Army, like they were expensive. And
we got questions.
Yeah, even Echo 1 was kind of like started to get up in price before they kind of got kicked back down. But yeah, A-Star. Let's see here. A-Star says, TM I feel are overpriced and not worth it. I would agree to that. I definitely would agree. I don't feel like if I was going to spend my money on something that was that much, I would probably be buying something that's either pre-upgraded or I'd be dumping my money on a cheap-ass gun and then spending that extra on upgrades.
Upgrades, yeah. God, I can remember when Team started.
Oh, I'm not saying that they didn't bring innovation.
I mean,
they made basically
everything was HPA, and then they came out with the FAMAS. And man, we dogged on that.
Well, the FAMAS is the most
that was the
ugly
very
fucking
first AEG was the FAMAS, and we're like, it's a model car company. What's this crap? And now look at them. You know,
you get something that's underpowered and plastic. Yes.
Yeah. Now
100%.
Well, the reason it's underpowered though has a lot to do with the treaty they signed during for World War II.
Right. I was gonna say it's got to have a lot to do with where it comes from, where it's being manufactured. Like,
in fact, that's what killed Tanaka.
Yeah. Well,
Tanaka was before the Hater, before the new Chiappa Rhino that's coming out. Tanaka was the revolver,
right?
Huh?
Shell ejecting, right? Tanaka had the shell ejecting.
Well, they had shell ejecting rifles, but their revolvers, they were the king of the revolver. And I want to say it was in the early 2000s. They were making like the M500, and somebody had found out, shell fed, like the Marushan did.
Right.
But you could put the 6mm ball bearings in it. And it shot hot enough that the owner of the company ended up in prison, and that killed the company.
Yeah. Once you can make something like a little bit like,
they were like, oh, it's a firearm.
Once you go from plastic to deadly, then they're like, oh, well, this is no good. Even though realistically, I feel like
it wouldn't have done
not much more. No, actually, well, I don't know. When you stop and look at it, like the kinetics of it, it probably hit like a mother. Like it probably, but the range on that was like probably nothing.
No, well, and it's kind of a niche thing, because if you want range, I mean, I can take any gas blowback pistol and I can give you comparable range to an entry level M4.
Right.
But it's not going to have rate of fire. It's not going to be as accurate.
Right.
I might, for every 4 shots, I might score 1 hit.
Right.
And that's if I'm, aiming and taking time.
I just don't like, I never viewed pistols as like, sexy or like, as like something that I was sought after. I've always just been like, all I want is a pistol that is comfortable and that I can whip out and I can shoot and know where it's going to go. Mainly because I'm never going to use it. Never going to use it. Except for when either 1, I'm too close because of the range field minimum engagement distances, or 2, because my rifle for some reason goes down and I have to use something right then.
Okay.
Run out of ammo, whatever, battery.
Well, my gas blowback rifle went down.
Right.
I had to just use the pistol for the rest of the day.
Right. See, fuck that. I'd have been like, well, that's it. I'm done.
See, in the real world scenario, you can't quit. You just got to make do with what you got and adjust your tactics.
Right.
For that.
A-Star says, Echo 1 wasn't too bad. I use my ER25K, and for pistols, I like Novrich pistols. Are great for range, which
they are.
I'm sure they probably are. See, but the only problem I have with Novrich pistols or Novrich guns really in general, again, is price, really. Like,
okay.
Mainly because of it's a name. That's what you're paying for.
Okay. Exactly, because the same pistol they use, which is I want to think it's a SOCOM, you can get, and it's a non-blowback. You can get the TM SOCOM non-blowback. I'm trying to remember the name of the company that we used to sell at Jungle Toy, because they had a cheap clone of it, and it'll have, I guarantee you, the same range as the Novich, because it's the same internals.
Everybody in the UK really likes that non-blowback. Was it the MK23?
It's because it's efficient on gas. Without being blowback, you're not cooling down as rapidly.
Well, the TM one comes with a suppressor that you can actually
yeah, and it works.
You can fill it with things that sometimes make the gun a little quieter, that type of thing. But
it also comes with a LAM unit.
A what?
The little LAM unit.
Yeah.
It's crappy.
Yeah. The flashlight is kind of crap, but
it's garbage.
That gives me like hardcore Metal Gear Solid vibes. Yep. Like, that's what it reminds me of, Metal Gear Solid, more than anything. Like, Earlier he said, I feel like you can get some all metals that have more power. I don't buy any. I don't buy any airsoft gun anymore unless it's metal. Like, I've just run into too many issues where I've had bodies crack, or I'm running and something fails and my rifle fucking falls down and it gets messed up. I'm
gonna have to check. I don't know if my Crytek is metal or not.
Don't think so. I'm pretty sure the Cryteks are all plastic. Polymer? Yeah, pretty sure.
It's decent. But
they always have a problem with cracking at the back, actually. They crack at the back, like where the back pinholes are.
Yeah.
That's where they'll crack. Which kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty, like, especially when you start talking about you're spending this type of money on a rifle, like that really should not be an issue. But
I don't think there's any aftermarket metal bodies for those.
There's some aftermarket JB weld.
Yeah.
Have to JB weld that bitch.
I'll just contact Crytek and get another body.
Let's see here. What's he say? He says, yes, they're costly. Their SSP-1 is a range beast, and the SSX-23 from Novrich, I seen someone use it at Radio Silence, and it wasn't bad. Said, I know the PPQ will start to crack once you do the full auto hack.
Yeah, no, see, that's true.
Right.
That's the thing. You're taking a gun that wasn't designed for full auto. You make it full auto, what's going to happen? It's going to fail.
I don't know. I just feel like with a LiPo battery, you can get pretty close to full auto. Like, maybe not the same cycle rate, but if you were just laying down continuous fire, like, if you put Nasty on that Crytek and just let him have, like, go ham with it, I feel like he could probably crack the body.
If we did that, we'd have to get him the Crytek little pocket LMG that basically it's an M4 with a box mag on it.
Right.
We'd have to get him something like that that's designed for it.
Right.
Because he'll go full ham.
Right. Which, by the way, actually, now that we have somebody in here who's kind of chatting with us, how does the stream look? Is it coming out okay? Is it...
how does it compare to our normal?
Does it look sexy? Is it hella choppy? Do you want to see me take my shirt off? I mean, we're just getting there. We're just getting there. It's clear. All right, that's what I like to hear. I somehow rigged up my Canon M50 to act as a webcam, so this is great.
And it solves a lot of technical problems we've had behind the scenes.
Yes, OBS Studio is still recording after 30 minutes, so this is my shit. I'm on this. This is I can't even
behind
take
the camera.
Right, I can't even take the credit for this one, actually. We did a live the other day. Me and Nasty were on live, and MT6 Airsoft actually jumped in, and I was talking with those guys, and they came on to the Discord, and I think we had a chat with them for, I don't know. I was up until like 10:30 on a Thursday night, just chatting with them on Discord.
10:30.
Well, I had to go to work. And take Elena to school. So I was getting up early, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We're chatting. And he's like, hey, you should, it's really cool when people are on Twitch. You can actually put your podcast on Twitch. And I was like, yeah, I have a Twitch channel. He's like, you should really look into it. It has a ton of user features, which, holy fuck, there's so many features on Twitch. Like, I don't even know, like there's this
it's
thing.
Gonna be a game changer.
There's this thing right here, this new TF member. It's supposed to be like when somebody subscribes or follows us, their name should pop up right there.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of really cool. I don't know anything about it, but it's really cool. There's like a donate feature. There's just so much fucking shit on Twitch, dude. There's fancy transitions and shit that I haven't even figured out how to use. Like, it's could be really cool.
Let's see, with Crytek, I just thought of something. They now have the contract with Chris.
Yeah. Well, they've had it for a while now,
right?
but yeah.
But Chris had the plan in the works for a pistol, the Kurd, semi-automatic, but you pull back. You don't pull the slide doesn't move.
Uh-huh.
You just pull back like an old Colt 22 Woodsman. You rack that, and it's all internal, so it controls the recoil.
What?
Yeah.
Like there's just a little bar?
Yeah, like your...
Like
exactly
Ruger?
like an old 22 or a Ruger. Yeah. You just pull that whole thing back. But since it's all self-contained...
Well, somebody just released a pistol that looks kind of like that. So
I know there's the AAP or something like that. Looks like an old Ruger, but it takes Glock mags. Now, those are super inexpensive guns.
I don't know, man. That would be kind of cool. Sorry, I was reading his comment. He said, I used to go on Twitch when I used to stream games, but when I changed my channel around and started mostly doing airsoft videos, I haven't used it in a while. I feel like I should. What's y'all's favorite airsoft pistol all time? Ooh.
That's my baby now.
Favorite airsoft pistol for me? Well, like I said, if you were in here, like I said, I really don't care about my pistol. Like, I've used a 1911. I've used a Glock 26. I've used a Glock... Well, I haven't used a Glock 18, but in real life, my favorite pistol is a Glock 19. I've actually got two of them.
I was going to say, you've been looking for a 19X.
I think about them. I think the 19X probably will be what I end up going with, but I really haven't decided yet.
I keep looking on Hop Up, taking screenshots and sending it to him.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, the SIG M17 is kind of really, like, starting to, like, get on me a little bit.
I was going to say, that deal I found for that SIG for
yeah.
200, that'd be worth it.
Yeah, fucking Hop Up app, man. That shit's...
Because, I mean, that was going to give you, what, 5 mags?
Yeah. Well, that's, like, a lot, though. I don't know if I'd...
Well, the nice thing about that is, if you've got them, and that one was... 3 gas.
I feel like I shouldn't have
2
Coors
CO2
in my stream, but Coors.
Well, like, what
it's
are we
banquet
do?
time.
You know, we're not giving them a drink. Yeah.
Do you want it?
But yeah, that one was going to give you like 2 CO2 mags, 3 regular gas mags, and then that extended mag.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad.
So I mean, CO2 for winter. Green gas for summer.
See, that's the same problem I have. He said the SIG is sweet. I was close to buying one, but my wife would have killed me. My wife, I'm surprised my wife's not yelling at me down the stairs right now, in all honesty, because I'm not upstairs yet. So,
see, my wife's really cool. I'm telling you. Apparently, third time was the charm.
Well,
he knew my ex-wife for the second one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
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 I'd already divorced in Missouri and moved here.
That's right. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't marry a bear.
What's your favorite?
Funny. My very favorite?
Yeah.
The Kimber. Hands down. For what it was. Now, the Western Arms Kimber, when I built it up and customized it and all, that was my favorite. But a stock one... The new VFC Kimber 1911 Tactical. Right. The only drawback is it's not railed, so you can't put a light on it. You'll actually have to find the clone light. Yeah. The old Surefire. Pull your pin, put it on, and it'll have a replacement slide release pin. Because that's what holds the light on place.
That's too much.
Yeah, I'm like,
much too
I just don't do I just carry a little flashlight. I'll do, cross.
He said, I recently did a video about all the airsoft guns I own. I didn't realize I own so many and actually out of space in my closet. It's like it creeps up on you, man. Like, at one point in time, I had like 10 airsoft guns. Like, I actually had a saw originally. And that's actually why Nasty ended up wanting to buy a saw, because I had a pair of saw, and I actually sold it. I actually sold it to a guy we used to play with named Grandpa, And he turned it into a saw pistol, which is fucking nuts. But
he
anyway,
did some crazy stuff with guns, though.
He did. but then Nasty was like, "What the fuck, man? I would have bought it." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know." So then he bought the Classic Army saw. I had an Echo 1 saw, but realistically, I mean, they were so close in quality.
I honestly thought he would have done a Parasaw, but the more he's converted that gun and tinkered with it and stuff, it's turned into a Mark 46.
Yeah, it pretty much is at this point.
And that's perfect.
I still think he should do the Special Forces M60, but he won't do it. He don't like it. It's lame.
So they just popped up in the corner of the screen.
So nice. I saw it isn't bad. Actually started with 1911 Cybergun P90. Then it was off to the races. So, yeah, that's.
I still, to this day, have a working Western Arms pistol, and I can still field it.
I started my very first AEG was a ICS M4 actually.
Those were nice.
Full metal body ICS M4. Yeah. And I actually had got a second upper for it, so I had like an outdoor upper and I had indoor upper. And I ran a tight bore barrel all the way through the barrel and then actually out into a suppressor. So I had like an M16 length barrel on an M4. And that thing, dude, had hella fucking range. Like now it's probably like average.
I think the only ICS I ever had was this CXP. And what I didn't end up liking about it is I had to run a battery and a PEC box up front.
Right. Yeah. I ended up...
See, now I would have changed out the buttstock and ran the wiring to the back.
Yeah, that's what I did. I ended up changing out... Well, I didn't change it out, but me and Scott ran it to the back. Yeah, and I had a bag. But
I was like, I knew exactly.
But no, we did all that, and it is what it is. I mean, this is where we're at now. So, but if you're in here watching,
so I'm going to be able to tell you what the Chaparrato's like. This is supposed to ship next week.
Yeah, that'll be kind of cool.
And it's going to be a gimmicky thing, but
still be kind of cool. Like, I mean, like, I don't really like
on my plate carrier because it's just like, this is my Gucci.
Right.
Look at this.
I don't like pistols, but that one's going to be.
You're gonna want to. I'm gonna bring it over so you can play with it.
Right. I'm gonna be interested in seeing what it has to offer. So, but no, if you're in here watching, welcome to Task Force Podcast Live. This is what it's gonna be. I'll probably still just turn this into the Friday video, but we'll be able to have people with us.
And more
live.
Interaction.
Yes, more interaction. This has been really cool, actually. I've been able to chat. It's not some weird shit with Instagram, but, you know.
This is going to make it more interactive for you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping you guys have kind of actually enjoyed this, and this kind of makes things a little bit fun for us. And so get the message out there. Let people know that the lives on Task Force Podcast are what is going down. So, but with that being said, you gotta get the sponsors in there. 6mm plastic. Those guys have got all of your BB needs. So if you're looking for 2.5s, if you're looking for 3.0s, you're looking for 2.0s, you're looking for 4.8s, probably even 4.6s, to be honest with you. Tracers, non-tracers, bios, non-bios. They got everything you need. So check those guys out. Probably the best BBs at the most quality price I could find. Task Force 2020, all caps, will save you another 10% from them. So check those guys out. Other guys are Dynamic Fuzz, actually, if you want to upgrade your helmet and make it look kind of Gucci. Maybe get some cables up and out of the way. Maybe you've got an MS-2000 you want to get on your helmet, but you haven't figured out how because you're clinically disabled, I guess we could say. Then you need to check out Dynamic Fuzz and use code TFPOD10 for 15% off your orders from them. And as well, the newcomer, as we have said the last couple episodes, TS Blades. You guys need to go check those guys out because they've got some badass blades that you can use out on the airsoft field. And they got a fucking tomahawk, and I can't get over that. I've got to get one and then make a Medal of Honor loadout. And the discount code is TS-Task Force Podcast. So if that's right, I don't know. Check the link below on the YouTube video. I'll have to double check. It's been like 3 weeks since we've filmed now because Nasty's out of town. Nasty should be back.
The third week, yeah.
Yes, Nasty should be back next week. So stay tuned and be ready because I think this is what we're going to be looking at is Saturdays at 7:30 Central Time. That's probably what we're going to be looking at. We'll go live with you guys and let you guys hop into this shit show of a show and talk with us and have some fun. But with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. We love you. So thanks.
Peace.